Hello, Lucas Nation fans. Welcome back to another exciting podcast. This is the season premiere of Lucas Chat Podcast with your host Kennedy Lucas. Now, today and the season is going to be very, very fantastic. But today's a good day. It's a beautiful Thursday. By the time you're hearing this, is going to be the weekend. We're switching some things up for you guys. We're switching it up for the Lucas Chat Podcast. Now, normally on the finales and the premieres of the Lucas Chat Podcast, we have two hosts for the podcast, but we're switching it up this season. I have decided, as CEO of our media label, K.L.P Entertainment, I've decided to give Tyrus his own podcast show. So Tyrus is going to be having his own show, and I'm going to be having my own podcast show here today. I felt like it will be a great opportunity for him to grow as a podcaster, and there's just something of the decisions we decided to do. So we're going to switch back to two podcast shows with one host. So hopefully you guys like the idea. Comment below. You're going to hear Tyrus coming back for his podcast this coming Wednesday as we talk about a very, very important topic. So wait for his podcast on Wednesday here at K.L.P Entertainment. But today we're here to kick off the new season of the Lucas Chat Podcast, and it's just, I can't believe it. You know, this season is going to be really cool. It's the summer season, so we have a lot of good things coming up for you guys. Not only new games that's coming out for the world, for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and new anime, but we're also going to be covering E3. We're going to be doing a podcast over E3 this year. Of course, I will be taking care of the Xbox One E3 press conference, and Tyrus is going to be doing the PlayStation Sony press conference E3. So I don't know if I'm going to do a live revealed reaction live stream of both E3's shows. I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. I'm still on the fence about that, but Lucas Nation fans, stay tuned for that as well, of course. Season 7, we kick off Season 7, Lucas Chat Podcast Season 7. I remember when we first started this thing in 2014, well, late 2014, we started the Lucas Chat Podcast, and it's been growing. A lot of people liked it. A lot of people on SoundCloud liked it, and Facebook and Instagram, they love hearing the voice and hearing what we have to say for this podcast show. Now, today is an exciting day, because today we're here to talk about Injustice 2. Now, Injustice 2 is the newest Injustice installment from DC and the creators of Mortal Kombat. Injustice 2 is different. I will have to completely agree with most people that say it's different from all these different reviews, but Injustice 2 is completely different with a new fighting style, just a new campaign fighting style, and new characters, as well as old characters from the original. Now, Injustice 2 is a fighting video game developed by NetherRealm Studios and published by Warner Brothers Interactive Entertainment. It is the sequel of the 2013's Injustice Gods Among Us. This game was released May of 2017, so last month actually, because today is June 1st, so last month, for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Similar to the previous installment, a companion mobile app was released for iOS and Android devices, so such as your Samsung and your iPhone devices. The core gameplay remains similar to the predecessor, with a bit of minor adjustments to returning game mechanics. Injustice 2 introduces a new feature called the Gear System, a loot dropping system that rewards players to customize to custom pieces and equipment that can be used to customize characters' appearance, modify their ability and stats. According to the developers, the ideas of the implementing an RPG-style progression system into a fighting appearance. Sorry, Lucas Nation fans, I'm reading from my notes here. Fighting experience game have existed since before the fall of Midway Games. The original publisher for the Mortal Kombat series, director Ed Boon, also sought to incorporate gameplay mechanics using the multiplayer shooting games, such as personalizations, character creation, loot, and leveling up, into the fighters game genre, in which it led to the development of the Gear System. Injustice 2 storyline centers Batman and his insurgency attempting to restore society after the fall of Superman's reign. However, the arrivals of the newly formed supervillains group, the Society, and the alien Brainiac forced Batman to consider freeing the imprisoned Superman to help combat these threats. The game received positive reviews from critics who praise its story, presentation, improvement gameplay mechanics, abundance of the in-game content, and character customization options, with the criticizing its random loot of microtransaction systems. So, I know that's a bit of a mouthful for the notes here, but as you guys can see, this gameplay is very, very smooth. So, I am very, very impressed with this Injustice 2 because a lot of people was looking very, very forward to this game, and I really do like how they really implement that into this game. I like the characters. They really got some new characters in this one that's different from the 2013's first installment. Mortal Kombat's the creators and Ed Boon, they always do a good job in these type of fighting games, and I truly think we need more fighting games like that. This game is just phenomenal. The story mode is it's a good story mode. The story mode to me seems to be a little bit quick. Again, that's not really the intention of the games, but I really do think the story mode is a little bit quick in this, because the first Injustice, they had a very, very long story mode, and this one I felt like it was sort of fast into the story mode. But the story mode is a little bit different. Now, mechanics is just very, very fantastic. It reminds me of, again, the first Injustice game and Mortal Kombat X that's also added to my game collection, which we're going to be doing Inspiron Gaming over at Twitch for that coming very soon, so stay tuned for that as well. It's very, very new. You know, it's very, very new. The characters' costumes look a little bit lighter, look a little bit different than the first one. So they really took their notes. They really implemented that as well. The gameplay, it's very smooth. You know, it is not like a super slow paced. It's just very nice and crisp, if I'm making sense to you Lucas Nation fans. The fighting style and the art style and the background of the stages is just very crisp. I really do, again, and games are going to get even better because it's PlayStation 4, Xbox One, they have the 1080p 60 f-stop resolution, and it's just going to become even more smoother. I don't think they're going to do more virtual reality series with this type of games, but this game has received a lot of good hits, like #1 on all the charts, because a lot of people was anticipating this game. Ever since the trailer came out, we were so excited to see and review and to play this game and to really see how it really goes on this, and we finally do it. You can still do elements like if you go around your environment and you see stuff on the ground or in the background, you can hit the RB button, or RB button, I think that's for Xbox One, and I forget the control button for PlayStation 4, but you can still throw around different environment tools that you can use to defeat your opponent. They do implement, still from the same game, they do have the 2-bar health bar style. The first bar is blue and then the next bar is red, so you still have more of a fighting chance with that. I'm really glad they implemented that in this game because it gives you longer time to play. Some of these games that I've seen around the world and I've reviewed, they only have that 1 health bar, and then once you beat them down, that's it, and then, you know, it just kind of gets kind of boring. But with this, it implements more of a challenge, you know. The super mode or the super moves, they are different. Some of them, they kind of seem similar to the first one, but they're a little bit different. I have to say, I do have a favorite character. I do like the Blue Beetle. I do like Batman. Those are the two of my favorite. Oh, and Green Lantern. He's my favorite character to play in this game. But all the characters, they're just really, really good, and they're all equal, you know. They're just very, very equal. So within this game, we have some of these similar characters, but we do have some new characters here. So we have Aquaman. He is the original from the first one. We have Itrocitus, if I said that name right. He's a new character. We have Bane, Batman, Black Adam. Those are all 3 of those characters. They were in the first one. Black Canary and Blue Beetle. Brainiac and Captain Gold. Those 4 are new people that's in the game. Catwoman, she was in the other one. We have Cheetah. Finally, they implemented Cheetah, because sometimes I feel like they kind of leave Cheetah out in mini games. So finally, they implemented her back into this game. We have Cyborg. He was in the original. Darkseid, he's a new character, and Deadshot. I forgot to mention that Deadshot is one of my favorite because he's really, really cool with his super gun, and he just shoot around. It's pretty cool. Dr. Fate and Firestorm, those two are new. We have Flash. He is a return. Gorilla Grodd is a new character, the big gorilla. Green Arrow, Green Lantern, Harley Quinn, and Joker. They were in the previous. We have a lot of new people here. Poison Ivy, Red Hood, Robin / Nightwing, Scarecrow, Starfire, oh my god. Sub-Zero from Mortal Kombat. That's so cool how they implement Mortal Kombat because the creators of Mortal Kombat made this game and they implemented a Mortal Kombat character into this game. Really, really cool. Supergirl, Superman, Swamp Thing, Supergirl and Swamp Thing, those are the two new characters, and Wonder Woman. So with an additional, you have characters that is playable within DLC. We have Grid, Jay Garrick, Flash, John Stewart, Green Lantern, Mr. Freeze, Power Girl, Reverse Flash, and Vixen. So those are the different types of characters with different types of skin. One thing I wanted to implement too, they're using Unreal Engine 3. So Unreal Engine 3 is the good engine that they use for that. Of course, many games are developing the Unreal Engine 4. I know, I'm not trying to get sidetracked, but I know Sonic Forces, they're using a new engine called the Hedgehog engine, so I can't wait to see how that works really well. But they're using all new engines for this game, and it's just really, really cool. Yeah, so this is just really, really cool. So every battle defines you. Power up and build the ultimate version of your favorite DC legends in Injustice 2 with the massive selection of DC superheroes and supervillains. Injustice 2 allows you to equip every iconic character with unique and powerful gear earned throughout the game. Experience a unprecedented level of control over how your favorite character look and how they fight, and also how they develop across huge variety of game modes. This is your superhero, this is your journey, this is your Injustice. Very, very cool description for Injustice 2. Of course, many companies like IGN and Metacritic are labeling this game and giving it an 8.1 user score, so that is pretty good. I would love to see that this game sort of goes out to that to many people. Now we're going to go on to our next segment here. You guys know what it is. Me and Tyrus, we do this on the podcast. We're going to look at 3 good reviews, and we have 1 mixed review and 1 bad review. I can't wait to read that bad review because I'm a little bit confused on that. So the first review comes from Telegram, and they published this May 25th, 2017. There is a saunter and character to its roster, to its stages, and that fizz and crumble under the weight of battle. It is kinetic and fun, easy to get into, and it might just be your favorite fighting game, even if you have never played one before. That's true. I agree with Telegram with that review because the stage, the characters, and how immersive they are, that kind of brings the fun out of it. You could go to different types of objects in your environment of these stages. You can throw a car, you can throw rocks, you can throw anything you need to fight into this game. So I agree with that. Of course, GameRant published this review May 24th, 2017. Injustice 2 is a triumph for NetherRealm. The game expertly built up upon the foundation led by the original with a endearing narrative, memorable fighters, gorgeous animations, and slew of different modes of features that keep fans engaged in countless hours. You can play this game for hours, I agree. This next review comes from Super King Gaming, published this May 17th, 2017. Injustice 2, true AA quality. Supergirl has been sent to Earth to look after Superman, and Brainiac is on his way to collect. Superman is the only way to defeat him, of course. Good review. So we have this mixed review. Mixed review comes from Game Revolution, published this May 18th, 2017. It says here, these fruits are sour by lazy. Contrived storytelling and gear system that stands in opposition to what fighting games should be about. All of the ultimate makes Injustice 2 a step back, not only from the original, but also from the level of quality we used to seeing from NetherRealm. Okay. Next review comes from it comes from Exurus. Published this review May 21st, 2017. The amount of DLC they throw at you every time NetherRealm makes a fighting game is getting really old. Getting prompt to spend money after dropping $60 is disgusting. Well, I sort of a little bit agree with that, because some games they try to throw the DLCs at you right after you paid $60 for a game. Of course, with me, with game collecting, I never pay $60. I wait until they kind of slim down the pricing a little bit, but that's true. Some games do like to throw, hey, you can get a DLC because you just bought this, so now spend $20 more for this. So I sort of agree with that sort of review, and I never really agree with bad reviews that much, but this one I sort of agree, because they did have a lot of DLCs that was cool, but they're looking for people to spend that extra money. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the Lucas Chat podcast thus far of Injustice 2. Hopefully you guys will go pick up this game. This game is something else we're going to add to our list of game collecting coming very soon. For the price point, we're balling on the budget here a little bit with some products that we unbox and review here, but that game's coming soon for Inspiron Gaming, so stay tuned for that as well. If you have any questions about the Lucas Chat podcast or me personally, leave it in the comment below. Here at K.L.P Entertainment, we're always happy to answer any type of questions that you have from us here at K.L.P Entertainment and Host Stream Studios. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this podcast. This has been the Lucas Chat podcast, Season 7 premiere with your host, Kennedy Lucas. I'm Kennedy Lucas, logging out.